So by far the biggest change with iPadOS has to do with the browser. And I'm talking specifically about Safari. Safari is now considered to be what they call a desktop browser, which means it'll work just like the computer version of Safari, not a watered down kind of mobile version that sometimes you get on your phone or tablets. So if I open up Safari in iPadOS 13, I can now open most things that I could have opened on a desktop or laptop. Then those things will now work exactly the same way on an iPad. So the biggest options that I now get have to do with Google. So if I'm on the Holman website here and I simply tap on the Google Drive button over here on the side and opened up Drive, I now can go to Google Drive directly in Safari. In the past, it used to send me to the Drive app, but now I can use it and it'll look and work exactly the way Google Drive does on a desktop, which is pretty cool. Now, it may tell me if I have the Drive app installed. It may give me a link at the top that asks me if I want to open that in the Drive app, but as long as I just stay where I'm at here, I can open these things directly in here. Now, the only problem with some of these things is if I have a file that might be a Google Doc or a Google Slide, if I have those apps installed and I tried to double tap to open one of these up, if I don't have the app installed, then it will open up into the web version in Safari and allows me to open it up and I can edit it. And it works exactly the same way my desktop version does. If I have the app installed and I double tap on it, it will actually open up the Google Docs app. So if I don't want it to automatically open up that Google Docs app, all I have to do is find the Docs app in my list of apps, press and hold down on it, and then I can tell it to edit or delete. By hitting that X, I can delete the Docs, Sheets, and Slides app, and I can use all of those apps right here into my browser just like this. Now, why would I want to do that? Number one, I get more features. So it works, again, and looks just like the desktop versions did, if you're familiar with those. I now get full versions of my menus, which, again, before I didn't have all of these menu options. Now all of these options come back. That didn't exist before. But probably one of the biggest changes that I get is I now get what they call revision history, or if you've ever been working on a document, something happens and you accidentally deleted all of it or you made a change and changed your mind, up here at the top it'll tell you when this document was last edited. And if I tapped on that, it'll actually show me when this document was edited, what changes were made, and I can look at every single change that was made to this document and can go through step by step to see what all of these changes were, who made each of these changes. So if you're collaborating, you can see which parts your teammates did, and if there was a certain version I wanted to go back to, I could tap on one of these and I could tell it to go back to this version, restore this version up here at the top, and it will take me back to this version of this document. So if I accidentally deleted something, I can go back to the way it was before. So the choice is yours. If you like the Docs, Sheets, and Slides app and want to keep using those, you can. But you now have a lot more options than what you had before because you can now run these things directly into Safari. Now, these don't work in Chrome. It only works in Safari until Chrome decides to update their app to support it. But so far, it gives you, again, a much more powerful version of Google Drive, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and so on. So the only caveat with that is Google Classroom. So if I'm in my Drive app and I tap on my waffle and I go down and tap on Classroom, since I have the Google Classroom app installed, it's going to take me into that Google Classroom app by default. I have to keep the Classroom app installed in order to be able to annotate or write on top of documents. But if I was to open up a class and was going to find an assignment, so here's an assignment that's assigned to me. This is a Google Doc. When I tap on it, it opens up, and if I hit my little share arrow at the top, this now will ask me, do I want to open this up in Safari? And if I choose to open it in Safari, it will take me into the Safari version of this document that allows me to be able to edit it there. Now, if I wanted to, I could go to Google Classroom into Safari. I just cannot use the waffle to get to it since I have the app installed. To do that, I have to go to classroom.google.com, and when I do that, then it will take me to the web version of Google Classroom, which when I open up the exact same assignment and I go in here it is, and I tap on it, it will take me directly into it this way without having to go into the app first and to click on those share links to get it back into the browser.